Today I'll show you guys the top 3 trade packages that the Lakers could offer for Chris Paul from the Oklahoma City Thunder. So before we get into it, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you're new. Now we're gonna get into trade number 1. So the first trade is Lakers obviously acquire Chris Paul, and the Oklahoma City Thunder acquire Danny Green, J.R. Smith, Talen Horton-Tucker, and a conditional 2021 first-round pick. So the reason that this is good for the Los Angeles Lakers is that they obviously get Chris Paul, the all-star or superstar point guard, obviously. And it would be obviously nice to see him play with LeBron and Anthony Davis. So I think I like that trio right there. I mean, that would be really good. The Lakers are obviously not looking to go young or anything, so Chris Paul's 35-year-old age does not matter for them. Obviously, LeBron is quite the same age as him. So I think that that's a great trade for the Los Angeles Lakers. And obviously, they're giving up Danny Green and Talen Horton-Tucker, obviously, and J.R. Smith. But those are not that great of pieces anyways for them if you're talking about comparing them with the all-star point guard and Chris Paul. Obviously, Chris Paul is something that they prefer more. Danny Green hasn't played really well in the Orlando bubble so far, obviously. He had some bad games as well. So I think Chris Paul obviously is a great addition for them. And Talen Horton-Tucker barely got any playing minutes, obviously, for them, as well as J.R. Smith. So I think that Chris Paul would definitely mean a lot for the Los Angeles Lakers in terms of championship hopes. They're probably going to win the championship anyways this year in 2020. But anyways, next year, adding another star would not hurt, especially a star that could easily fit in with LeBron and Anthony Davis and does not demand the ball all the time. So I think that'd be a great fit for the Lakers. And now let's talk about it for the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Thunder obviously the main thing that they obviously get is that first round pick in 2021 from the Lakers, and obviously adding up picks and stacking up with more picks with as many as they have. I mean, they have a lot in the future years, obviously. So adding another one would definitely not hurt, and getting rid of Chris Paul's huge contract would really mean a lot for them. And obviously that would be a great trade for the Oklahoma City Thunder, that they're getting a first round pick for Chris Paul, obviously. So that you wouldn't find that a lot in trades for Chris Paul. Obviously his value isn't the highest with his age and contract, obviously. So I think that the Lakers and the Thunder obviously make a great trade. The Thunder get a first. They get Talen Horton-Tucker, a young player that could still develop, and obviously add into all those young players that they already have in Shea and all those other guys. And obviously Danny Green and J.R. Smith are just to make the salaries work. So now we're going to hop into trade number 2. So trade number 2 is that the Lakers obviously acquire Chris Paul, and the Thunder acquire Danny Green, J.R. Smith, and Quinn Cook. So this is definitely not the best trade in terms of the first one and the second one, because the second one, which is the one that I just said, there's no first round picks being involved for the Oklahoma City Thunder. It's almost the same trade for the Lakers. Obviously, it's actually a better trade for the Lakers, but a worse trade for the Thunder. So I don't think the Thunder would want to do that. And they would probably ask for a first at least. So I think that's definitely what should happen. But I think the Thunder would not do that trade. The Lakers would definitely agree to that happily, but I don't think that will happen. So I think that will be my second ranking, obviously, from the first one and second one. Is obviously on the bottom of that list. So now let's just hop into the final third trade. So trade number 3 is an interesting one. The Lakers fans will be mad at me for putting this one up there, but I think this is something probably not in consideration for them, but there is probably a slight chance if the Thunder would want to do it. I don't know if the Thunder really like Alex Caruso as much. So the Lakers receive Chris Paul, and the Thunder acquire Danny Green, J.R. Smith, and Alex Caruso. Yes, Alex Caruso, the fan favorite of the Los Angeles Lakers. This trade is definitely the least likely to happen, especially for the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't know if they would really give up Alex Caruso. I think they would actually keep him and rather give up Quinn Cook instead of Caruso. But this is a trade just brought up. I don't know if this would work. Probably not, because the Lakers fans would definitely never let it happen. You know what I'm saying? But yes, so I think this is definitely number 3 in rankings of the trades. Number 1 was the one with the 2021 first round pick involved. I think Lakers fan would not be really hesitant to do that trade. Obviously, Lakers fans would probably prefer Caruso more than a 2021 first round pick. Anyway, it's gonna be far in the first round picks, probably like be like 29, 30. You know what I'm saying? So I think the Lakers would rather keep Caruso and trade that pick instead of do the opposite, obviously, and trading Caruso. So I think Caruso trade would probably be, and actually would definitely be, the number 3 in terms from 1 to 3 and rankings of the best trades. So obviously from 1 to 3. So I think the third one would be the Caruso trade, and the second one would be the Quinn Cook trade. And then the first one would definitely be the one involving that 2021 first round pick for the Thunder, obviously, from the Lakers. So let me know what you guys think of these trades, and which one do you like the best for both teams, or for your favorite team out of these two. So let me know in the comments down below. It was KNYT here, and I'm out. Peace.